If you got questions on any of that, please let me know if you're having trouble on any of this. If you guys haven't taken an online course, I would love to help you. I don't want you guys to feel too overwhelmed with it. I just actually finished with this course for the first 8 weeks last week. So it went really, really well. So if you guys have any questions, there was multiple people that haven't taken an online course like this before, and they did great. Okay, so if you have any anxiety about taking this course and what it'll entail, no worries. Just make sure you're communicating with me. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm definitely here to help all of you, okay? So good, everybody's starting to go into the chat and sign in. And again, we will do that day, okay? We will do that every day. Today, we are going to go over, it's kind of syllabi day, right? So we're gonna go over the syllabus, give you guys a framework, how the class will work. We'll go over Canvas. I'll share my screen and walk you guys through what the class will look like. When we're doing that, please, if you have any questions, you don't understand something, please let me know. I am originally from Oklahoma, so I do have an accent. So if this accent gets too thick sometimes, don't be afraid to ask a question if you don't understand something I'm saying. It's a fun class. This is my favorite class. I've taught this class for 10 years now. So relatively probably over 30 classes in total. So this class is really fun. It's directly related to you guys in becoming healthier, education on all different types of wellness. We'll talk about the 8 dimensions of wellness. We'll talk about how to be successful, how to be happy, and some methods to do all of those things. And then we'll share our experiences too. All right. Later in the chapters, we will talk about different types of healthy behaviors or maybe overcoming addictions. Okay, so alcohol addiction, drug addiction, tobacco addiction, some of these things will come up later in the chapters. So it brings up good conversations and things majority of us, all of us deal with on an everyday basis, maybe from a depression side of things, maybe goal setting, maybe time management, maybe budgeting, maybe your nutrition, maybe exercise. You know, we've been stuck inside a lot over the last 6 months with COVID, and maybe your exercise has declined a little bit. So we need to figure out some ways to be better at that, because that in turn helps us mentally, gets rid of depression, anxiety, helps us perform better in everyday life. So that's kind of a little bit of overall what the class entails. Again, there's only going to be 8 students in this course. So it's a small course, so we'll be able to share and talk along the way, okay? We can get started on the syllabus, and we can go into some things. And we will, through this, we'll create a framework too of how we will log into Zoom and what it'll look like from that standpoint, okay? So here's the syllabi. You guys have this in your files section right now on Canvas. So if you went into your Canvas and you clicked on the files tab, you could pull this up for yourself and you would be able to see it. Okay, this is Healthful Living. This is an 8-week accelerated course and it's live online. My name is Tyler Gillum. I have a master's in education. My position at South Mountain Community College is health and wellness faculty. So basically I run our exercise science department. Within that exercise science department, we also, under that umbrella, we have all the nutrition classes, all the physical education classes, healthful living, and exercise science. And so therefore my title is health and wellness because it kind of is the umbrella of all of those things. Also, I'm an assistant baseball coach. I've been here since fall of 2011. I moved out here from Oklahoma to coach baseball. And I got myself into the classroom. I taught as an adjunct for 6 years, and then I am going on my Let's see here. No, I taught as an adjunct for 4 years, and I'm going on my 6th year as full-time faculty. From office hours standpoint, I'm usually around my computer somewhere between 11 and 1 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. So if you guys need anything, the best way is to try to contact me during those times. So that would be basically right after our class and then up to 1 o'clock. My cell phone number is in there. So if it's an emergency, you need something right away, just anything, you can shoot me a text, you can give me a phone call. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. We do have a new baby boy who's 5 weeks old. So I'm changing diapers a little bit in between teaching classes. So I'll get back to you if you do text me or call me. The easiest way just to communicate would be through email. So if it's not an absolute emergency, you can email me there. That's my school email. My goal is to get back to you within 48 hours. Usually I get back to you within earlier than that, usually 24 hours, but with the new baby boy, I try to give myself a little bit of lead time. So there's a fax number, but you probably don't need the fax number. I don't even know why we put that on there anymore. The course description, health and wellness and their application to optimal lifestyle are shown in this class. So we're looking to see how we can live an optimal lifestyle within the realm of our values, our morals, our principles, whatever that is for you and however that looks like for you. The students will explore current topics of interest, such as stress management, nutrition, fitness, environmental health. The student will evaluate common risk factors associated with their own lifestyle behaviors. So we'll look at a lot of things. We'll do goal setting. We will do a time management plan. We will do a nutrition plan. We'll talk about nutrition. We'll do an exercise, a weekly exercise routine plan. We'll look at different types of videos through this class. We have multiple videos that are either motivational or educational when it comes to exercise or nutrition or just living an optimal life. Again, the delivery method of this class is live online. So we will meet every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 11:15. And then also from a class computer usage standpoint, you do need internet. Canvas will be used for classroom assignments. We will have all assignments on Canvas. You'll need to check Canvas multiple times, just depending on when the assignments are due. Again, it is an 8-week course, so it's accelerated. So we have the same amount of content in 8 weeks as we would in 16 weeks. So it's just condensed a little bit, which is no problem. I've had I had 2 students that never taught online, and they were older students. So they were coming back to school after a long layoff, and they both got A's in the class. So really, it just comes down to being disciplined, coming to class, and just being organized. Okay. The work that you're doing is not overall stressful. It's more along the lines. A lot of the homework is for you. Trying to create a better nutrition plan for yourself, trying to create a better exercise routine for yourself, trying to have, better morning routine, talk about our sleep habits. So all of these things that we're doing are related to you, your health, and how you can live an optimal life. The book here, An Invitation to Health, Your Life, Your Future, it's the 18th edition. You will need the book for the test. I have study guides in Canvas, and I'll show you those here in a little bit. You will use your book for those study guides. Those study guides will help you on the test. Every question on the study guide, all right, or every question on the test is on the study guide. So if you guys complete the study guide and then go to take the test, you should have no problem making a good grade. All right, so with those tests, you will have the book, you will have lectures, you will have the PowerPoints that will be uploaded into Canvas, so you'll be able to use those as well. And then the goal is to record all of these Zoom classes, and you guys can go back and watch, all right, if you need to on some type of lecture. But you will need the book, because I won't give you every answer on the test. You will have to read through the book, answer questions, and finish the study guide. To go to, and at any time, guys, if you guys have questions, you guys can stop me or use the chat if you have any questions as I'm rolling through here. If not, I'm just going to keep rolling. So if you have questions, please stop me. You can unmute yourself if you want to, or you can just use the chat, okay? Attendance standpoint, okay? Maximum of 2 unexcused absences allowed since it's an 8-week course. Those absences are showing up here on live online. All right, after 2 unexcused absences, the student will be dropped a letter grade. All right, so that's a possibility. I don't always do that. I definitely ask you guys to communicate with me. I understand life happens. Some things are going on, but I can't assume I know what's going on. So don't assume I know what's happening in your life. If there's something happening, I need you to communicate with me, and the best way to do that is through email. So communicate, 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 communicate. Number 1 rule, anything happens, I'm willing to help you guys if you're willing to help yourself. If you don't show up to class, you don't communicate with me in 3 weeks, I've got to drop you from the class, right? So if you communicate with me, I'm willing to work with you, but I can't do it unless you guys communicate with me, okay? So that's attendance. With attendance, okay, so how do you earn points for attendance? So every day I give points for attendance. I think showing up in life is 50% of the battle. So if you can show up every single day to work, you're going to have a chance to be productive. I do all of my classes that way too. I think it's important that if you show up and you're really good with the process of showing up, then you're accidentally going to learn something. You're accidentally going to do pretty good in the class just by showing up. So I give points for showing up. These are the easiest points that you can get. All right, so with attendance grades, you get 5 points total of attendance per day. All right, so if you're late, you get docked 1 point. So if you're late, you only get 4 points total for the day. If you don't have your video on, if you don't have a video presence, you can only earn 3 points for that day. All right, I think a big piece of this class and healthful living is seeing each other, communicating, having conversations. So an attendance grade is associated with your video being on, okay? And then no points for being absent. Okay, so make sure you guys know that going forward. Showing up on time, you'll get 5 points towards your grade by the end of the semester. So we'll have roughly 16 classes. It'll be more around 15. And so that's what, 70 total points, okay, for showing up and having your camera on and communicating with the class, okay? Obviously, we have a small class, so this class will be a lot better with us communicating. Assignments wise, okay, so late assignments will be deducted 2 points each day after the original due date. So I will take late work if you turn in some late work, but I will take off 2 points per day after the original due date. So please make sure you guys get things in on time. And if you are late, get them done as fast as you possibly can. All right. Again, communicate with me too. If things do happen, communicate, communicate, communicate. Let me know what's going on. If you have trouble submitting something, something's going on, please send me an email. Let's communicate, and I want to help you guys solve any problems that you have. So please let me know, okay? Discussion wise, you will have discussions throughout the class. This class is built on a lot of discussions. We will have quote of the days throughout the class. Usually we'll have a quote of the day. It's basically a journal entry, and then you guys will communicate with each other on your journal entries. It'll be roughly around 3 a week. Usually we'll have 1 quote of the day on each day we have class, and then we'll have 1 on the weekend like Sunday. That's usually how each week is associated. So just know with those discussions, each discussion, every single discussion that you have, you need to post 6 to 8 sentences, so a small paragraph of whatever it's asking you, and then depending on whatever the directions say, usually 1 or 2 classmates, you need to comment on 1 or 2 classmates, and that's 4 to 6 sentences. So I'll dock you points. Example, like if you commented on a classmate's post and you just said, awesome post, thanks for sharing. Okay, we need to be more in depth with that. So I give you some framework of 4 to 6 sentences to receive full credit. Okay, so make sure on all of these assignments, all of the discussions, you read the assignment or you read the discussions, so you make sure you get all the points. Usually the first couple weeks, problems that I do have is people forget to comment on classmates and they lose out on points. So make sure you guys comment on classmates and reach that total sentence framework that you need to get to, either 6 to 8 sentences on the first initial post, and then 4 to 6 sentences on a classmate's post. Exams wise, there'll be 3 exams in the class. They'll all be online. There'll be 50 questions. There'll be what I call multiple guests. It shouldn't be guests though, because you have study guides, you'll have the PowerPoint, you'll have the lecture, and you will also have the book to complete the study guides. Remember, every question on the test is on the study guide. So if you do the study guide and then take the test, you should have no problems passing the class. Usually the only people that have problems passing those tests are people that don't do the study guide and then try to do the test last second. All right, everybody that does a study guide usually gets an A. All right, so make sure you guys do those study guides. The Growth U template. Okay, the Growth U template is a template that I've developed for this class, and we'll go over it here in a second. It's different types of exercises, assignments that you guys will do throughout the class. You'll finish this Growth U template. My goal for this class is that you guys use this framework, these methods, going forward in your life to help you live an optimal life. Grading scale is normal. 90 plus is an A, 80 plus is a B, 70 plus is a C, so on and so forth. Some of the course competencies of what you'll learn, that's basically everything I've touched on right there. So if you guys want to go back and read all of those, you can. But those are kind of the boxes that we'll check along the way as we touch on class lectures and assignments and discussions. With class computer usage, again, if you guys ever have trouble with your computer, you can go on campus, and our computer commons is open, but you guys need to go up there and reserve a time. So if, let's say you lose internet at your home, you can go to the computer commons on campus, schedule a meeting on campus, and you can go to that computer lab to use that if you want. We're still relatively off campus. There is some administration and people that are working that are starting to go back onto campus. So we're gradually moving that direction. Hopefully by January, we will be back in classes on campus. All right, so we will see, to be determined on that. Okay. With computer usage, we will use PowerPoint or Google Slides in this class. You guys will have a couple assignments, like we'll do a vision board. Okay, we'll do a vision board through PowerPoint or Google Slides, whatever's easiest for you to use. We will use Google Docs or Word or Excel or spreadsheets. All right, so depending on what's easiest for you to use, you guys will use those types of documents that will help you complete assignments along the way. And just know, save all your files. Okay, so as we're using the Growth U template, you guys are completing assignments, make sure you save it some way or somehow, either in your Google Drive, which is associated in your emails, your South Mountain emails. So in your South Mountain emails, you can use Google Drive, Google Spreadsheets, Google Slides, Google Docs, and it'll save it for you on your computer. Or if you guys have a zip drive, if you have the cloud, if you have some ways to save it on your computer, just make sure you save all your assignments. You don't want to be, you don't want to finish a paper and then you have to rewrite it like I did in college one time, right? All right, wrote a 10-page paper, didn't save it, then had to write it again. Not too fun. So make sure you save your assignments, guys. Class meeting time, we'll meet every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 to 11:15. So make sure you guys do that. The last day of class will be during finals week. It'll be that Tuesday, 12:15. That'll be on your syllabus test that you guys will do in Canvas by tonight. So make sure you do, make sure you know those dates. All right, Zoom, there's our Zoom meeting ID and passcode if you need it. If you guys wanted to withdraw from the class, the last day to get an official W would be November 14th. Hopefully none of you guys think you have to withdraw from this class. We can definitely get through this class. I'm definitely willing to help you. If you're willing to help yourself, just again, communicate, communicate, communicate. That is not going to be the 18th. It's actually going to be the 15th on that final exam day. Okay. So tentative class schedule, always put tentative because life happens and things change. We might have to make an adjustment. So this is what you'll see going through week 1 all the way to week 9, which week 9 is finals week. With that, we will go through these chapters. I pretty much have a chapter for each day. And so with each chapter, I usually have a assignment and a discussion. All right, assignment and a discussion associated with each of those. All right, so this is the framework. So we got chapters 1 all the way down to chapter 4. So that's our first block of chapters where we'll do our tests. So our first test will be on November 5th. We will do chapters 1 through 4 test, again, online, multiple guests. You have your study guide, so on and so forth. Make sure you do those. Also in that day in class, we will do vision board presentations. So our vision boards will be posted through PowerPoint. All right, and for your vision boards, we will do it in PowerPoint. You guys will basically take your goal setting exercise that you'll do, and then you will find pictures of things that you can see. If you've never made a vision board before, you'll take pictures of things you want in the future, and you'll post those in a PowerPoint, and then you'll give a 2-3 minute presentation of what your goals are for the future, what those basically, so what those pictures that you have on your PowerPoint, what those are. It might be a house, it might be a car, it might be to graduate, might be to start your own business, it might be to start investing, it might be to write a book, it might be to write music, whatever that is for you. You'll put on that vision board, and we'll have vision board presentations. It's usually a fun day in class because we'll learn a lot about each other for that class. Then as we get into it, chapters 5 through 8, that's going to be on nutrition and exercise. So that's a fun chapter as we'll get into that. And we'll talk about the what our assignments will be in Growth U template here in a second. All right, Thanksgiving break. So Thursday, 11/26, we will not meet in class, but assignments will still be due throughout that week. All right, and then our last section of tests, chapters 14 through 17, where we'll talk about consumer health. So we'll talk about insurance, and then we'll talk about addiction, tobacco addiction, alcohol addiction, tobacco addiction, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, those types of things. All right, and then we will hit finals week. All right, with Zoom, all right, some expectations that we have within our Zoom classroom. All right, make sure you guys go through here and read those. Number 1, arrive 3 minutes early to Zoom meeting. This just gives you guys time to make an adjustment if like your internet's not working or you forgot the password or so on and so forth. So arrive 3 minutes early. It's always good to be early to make adjustments as you need. Okay, kind of a good life lesson, right? In the real world, if you show up 10 minutes early, that's always a good thing. All right, shows you're organized and prepared. Number 2, on arrival to class, use the chat area to sign into the day. So we did that earlier. You guys signed in, said hello, what's going on, how we doing? All right, so lock that in every single day. That's how you guys are going to get some of your attendance points, because I go back and look at the names on that chat to make sure you signed in, and looking at the video too as well. All right, so remember, as you guys are trying to get attendance points, attendance points for the day. Show up on time, and then have your video on. Number 3, this is a hybrid virtual class, so live online, okay? So it's more live online, meaning the student expected to present in the same way. So basically what we're looking at is class isn't changing much. The only difference is we're on Zoom versus being in the classroom, okay? So we'll still communicate. We'll still work through the chat. We will still have presentations. We'll still do assignments. We'll still give lectures, and we'll hang out, all right? So nothing's changing too much. We're meeting just like we would in class, but now it's online, all right? Ideally, have your video on in a quiet space, best possible learning environment. I understand there's a lot of things going on at home, so you might have multiple people on computers. You might have kids. Like I've got my kid in the background crying right now, so I get it, no problem. So I don't hound you guys too much about the space you're in or where you're at. If you want to be in your bedroom or wherever in the living room, kitchen, whatever that situation is, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. Just if it is loud in your background, just make sure you have it on mute, so you're not disturbing the rest of the class. Okay. But in a learning environment, as we're trying to figure out how to learn online, the best way is to eliminate as many distractions as possible, right? So if we can stay focused on some areas, that would be the best. So that would be from a standpoint of your cell phone, maybe putting your cell phone on mute, putting it to the side, turn off your TV, maybe try to find a room in the house where it's quiet. These are the best areas to study if you can eliminate distractions. And this is something we're consistently trying to battle throughout just everyday life of when we're trying to achieve some of our goals, is to eliminate distractions. And we'll talk about that a little bit as we go. The less distractions you have, the more time you can stay focused and on task. So it's a good life lesson of learning how to eliminate some of those distractions when you're trying to focus on some things. Also in the class, be polite to your classmates, refrain from any foul language. As we share some of our stories and we talk and we get to know each other, just respect everybody in the class, and then also just keep your microphone on mute until you decide to speak. And the last spot, when you guys are giving lectures, just make sure you're in a quiet space so we can hear you from that standpoint. If you have any questions or have any problems with the online version, maybe it's a webcam, maybe it's a microphone, something of that nature, let me know. We can see if we can help solve those problems. Amazon does wonderful things, from cheap items that can help us perform better in this environment, but also Amazon's pretty quick in getting us different types of headsets and so on and so forth. Okay, so if you guys need anything from that standpoint, I would love to help. Please let me know as we go. Okay, as we go through here, you guys can read some of this. This is a lot of just different types of resources, different types of things that we have on campus and how we kind of operate. Also, if you guys need Microsoft Office, so that's Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Access, you guys can look at that technology, and hopefully you might be able to get that free from this link. So you guys can click on that link if you need Microsoft Office on your computer, and see if you guys can get those, apply and see if you guys can get those for free. So take advantage of that if you have that opportunity. All right, student expectations for success. Read course-related news and announcement. I'll send out announcements throughout Canvas, just like I did for this Zoom call. All right, so make sure you guys are reading those. Complete assignments. Really understand when assignments are due throughout the week, what you need to do, and read those directions. Ask questions if you guys don't know, so please email me. Share work, discuss ideas with your teacher and other students, like work together, figure out who's in this class, what you guys need to do to be successful, and help each other out. Submit assignments before due dates. I think it's always important. I'll have some assignments due on Sundays. So sometimes we get busy on the weekend, right? So if you guys can get those done on Thursday or Friday, and you got the weekend to get it done, you guys can do that. All right. So gradually, I'll open up each week of assignments, usually 5 days ahead of time. All right. So that's kind of my rule of thumb. 5 days ahead of time, you guys can work ahead and work early throughout the class and get assignments done early before the due date if you would like to do that. All right, if I give you some feedback on assignments, please read those, especially on the discussions. Usually people miss points on discussions. And so I'll throw some feedback in on those discussions. So make sure you read those so you accomplish and get those points towards your grade. Regular active participation is required. Again, we will discuss and bring up I'll share different stories about my life that's related to all of these things that we're going to things I've learned along the way, and hopefully they help you. Usually the best way we have this class is everybody will share some type of things that this relates, whatever topic it is. Maybe it's we're talking about sleep and you have sleep problems and you have found some solutions to sleep better, like sharing some of those stories. That's just one example. And then just know your online resources as we go. All right. And I've got other information there that you guys can go through and read. Again, you have the syllabus test due tonight, so make sure you guys do that and complete that. And then I will share Canvas with you guys now. All right. So here's our Canvas page. This is what I can see right now. Student view looks a little bit different because I don't have everything opened up yet. All right. The first thing that you guys will see in Canvas once you log in, so make sure you guys log in. You've got all of the tabs over here to the side. All right. In the Files tab, you guys will have a lot of the PowerPoints. You'll have the study guides. You'll have the syllabus. You'll have the Growth U template. All right. From the grades, you can check your grades. And then from announcements, you can check all the announcements. So starting here at the top, this is not an assignment. This is just information to help you guys figure out how to be successful online. So this is just information. So you guys use this however you would like to use this. Okay. So if you need some basically tips to help you be successful online, that's what this is for. It's a resource for you. There's no assignments due in this. All right. It's just resources to help you guys, some tips to help you guys be successful. Okay. Let's see here. Also, welcome to the course. Okay. Welcome to the course. You guys, online tutoring is still available through campus. If you guys go to online tutoring, you guys can send an email to Daniel and he will get back to you. These are some of the hours that they associated with tutoring. So if you email him, you can set up something. I don't think you guys will need necessarily tutoring in this class. A lot of this class is just a lot of it's communication more than anything. And then you have a lot of resources such as the lectures, the PowerPoints, and the book to make a good grade on those tests. Okay. From there, all right, your book for the semester. So this is the book for the semester. This is what it looks like. So you guys take a picture, make sure you know what it looks like. I also put a link in here. All right, so you guys can get this thing on the internet. You can get it on Amazon if you want to. So here, if you go into Amazon, that's the bundle. You don't need the bundle. If you get it in different areas, like this one's only $19.99, you can get a used version of it. It'll be perfectly fine. All right, here's a $19.99 version. So I found I've kept this book. It's a good solid book. All right, but it's cheap on you guys. All right, so trying to save you guys some money. There's some links. Again, An Invitation to Health is the book you're looking for. All right, so you will need the book to pass those tests. All right, meet the instructor. This is a little bit about me. All right, so if you want to take some time and read that, more power to you. If not, no big deal. But it's got some information about myself. That's me skydiving in Hawaii in 2015 on New Year's. One of the crazy experiences of my life. But again, when you're talking about, as we're talking about living an optimal life, this is me stepping outside of my comfort zone because I'm absolutely deathly scared of heights. All right, so you guys can take a look at that if you want to. We'll also do some introductions here in a second. So with those introductions in Canvas, you guys will complete these introductions. We'll also do this in class here in a second. When we finish doing Canvas, we will introduce all of ourselves to each other. So with introductions, you guys will do this on Canvas. You will fill out all of this information in the discussion. You'll add a picture to your Canvas assignment. All right, so we can kind of know who each other is. It's always good to put a name to a face. All right, and then bonus. So this is a bonus. You get bonus points for doing this. So I'm trying to get everyone a little bit more comfortable with using video and using technology. So if you guys attempt to post a video answering all of these questions, I'll give you an additional 5 points to this assignment if you just do it in video form. Film it on your phone, all right, upload it to YouTube, and just copy it and paste it into the chat. And if you guys do that, I'll give you an extra 5 points. All right, I think it's good for us to learn different skills and us moving forward and more things being online going forward. I think it's a good skill to figure out and solve that solution. So I want to see if any of you guys will do it. So I'm hoping you guys will take the challenge and try to upload a video. And then the syllabus test. Okay, so the syllabus test, you guys, it's 15 points. It's basically going over some of the things that we talked about today and give you guys a framework of how this class is going to work. I also, it's important that I know you guys can navigate Canvas. And so part of navigating Canvas is completing the syllabus test. So please complete the syllabus test. If you don't, you will be dropped from the class. So I need you guys to be able to operate it. So if you have any questions, you need anything, please let me know. The introduction and the syllabus test is due tonight. All right, and then you also have the syllabus linked right here. So you can go back and look at all of those. You have 5 attempts to do this. All right, so just go through there. It's more just based around you. I know that you can take a test and you know some of the information that's going to be within this course. Okay. All right, Zoom meetings. We'll meet every Tuesday and Thursday. Please log in within 3 minutes. All right, so what it looks like on the home page here. All right, so you got Zoom meetings. This is us meeting. That's the link. Here's the Zoom expectations that I went over in the syllabus, as you guys know. And then if we don't have technical difficulties, I try to upload every chapter or every video into the Zoom link. Okay, so if you guys want to go back and listen to the lecture, you have those capabilities. So as long as technology doesn't fail me, we will have that opportunity to do that. So going into week 1, this is a standard week. It's open to you guys now. So if you want to go into Canvas right now on your computer and take a look at some of these things, all right, you have a quote of the day due, the first quote of the day. This is good. I like discussions from a standpoint, and when we talk about living an optimal life, I'm obsessed with studying successful people and what their routines and habits look like daily. And what I found out, what their routines look like daily, is they spend some time in thought, and they usually spend some time in writing. Some of you guys might have done this in the past from like a journal. Maybe some of you guys had a journal and you wrote just what happened to you that day, and you kind of worked through some things mentally. I think a lot of things that are associated with depression and anxiety is we get stuck in our head, and we need to get those thoughts either on paper, or we need to get into our body more, such as exercise. So with the quote of the day, this is a way to give us a quote of the day. I'm a big quote guy. They motivate me, they energize me, they give me some direction. And so today's quote is, life always begins with one step outside of your comfort zone. That would be like me, going skydiving. That might be you taking a chance on, talking to, asking a friend on a date. That might be going to apply for that job that might be just outside of maybe your comfort zone. All right, so some of these things, talk about your opinions of these quotes. So that's all it is. It's a journal entry for you to go, what does this quote mean to you? What are your opinions of the quote? Do you like the quote? Do you not like the quote? What does it remind you of? And just give you guys some times to think. So again, read the directions, 6 to 8 sentences. Make sure you write 6 to 8 sentences on this quote, and then respond 4 to 6 sentences to 2 classmates. So that's how you'll earn your points in these. But every day, I think it's important that we put our thoughts on paper. We start planning our future, but we also work through our problems. Plan your future, but also work through your problems. And then also, if you're having some anxiety, depression, get out of your head and get into your body. And what I mean by that is start doing some things that what Joe Rogan would say is work out some of your demons, right? So go break a sweat, go play basketball, go run the mountain, go biking, go do something, maybe go dancing, go do something that's active, get yourself out of the house, and get out of your mind and get into your body, okay? So that would be the quote. That would be the quote of the day, your first quote of the day, and it's also due tonight. All right. Attendance, you get attendance again for each day. Like I said before, 5 points for being on time with your video on, 4 points for being late, 3 points for no video, and then no points for being absent for that day. So again, showing up, being present, I think is a big part of life. So make sure you guys do that for this class. You get points for showing up, all right? The process. The first video is going to be on a motivational speaker called Brian Tracy. He talks about secrets of self-made millionaires. This isn't necessarily about making money. I want you to think about more of the details of the video of just daily disciplines of doing something that you're passionate about and how to be successful. All right, because I think a lot of times if we're doing things that we're passionate about, we're doing things that we're chasing, we're setting goals, we're organized, we have time management, and we live a better life, we live a more fulfilled life. All right, we're happier. And so some of the secrets of those self-made millionaires revolve around that. It's not necessarily about you making $1 million, which it isn't that big of a deal to me. I think it's about you living with financial freedom and you living the life that you want to live where you're happy. Okay, so chapter 1 video discussion, read through those directions, answer those questions. All right, another quote of the day that's going to be due on Thursday. Attendance grade, and then your first goal setting assignment. So this will get us into our Growth U template. All right, so make sure you guys are paying attention on this because we will use this Growth U template a lot. You'll have a lot of assignments on this. So with this Growth U template, okay, you guys can click on it. You can open it. It's in an Excel form. All right, if you need to transition it over to spreadsheets, that's fine as well. Again, if you would like to use Excel, okay, if you would like to use Excel, then you can do that as well. By going into that syllabus, clicking on that link and applying and trying to get that Microsoft Office for free. Okay, so telescope goals. This is going to be our first goal setting exercise. So what you guys just saw on Canvas, all right, so this right here, all right, we're going to set some goals. All right, this is going to get us going in the right direction. This is chapter 1 assignment. So we're going to set, it's actually going to be not 10 telescope goals, it's going to be 5. I actually changed this. 5 telescope goals and 20 microscope goals, okay? So what those goals are going to be, okay? I have some examples here. All right. So in this spreadsheet, like I coach baseball, I have a lot of players that say, I want to be a professional baseball player. Okay. So that's one of their goals. All right. Put in 5 other goals that you have. I'm sure majority of you guys don't care about being a Major League Baseball player, but maybe you want to be a physical therapist. Maybe you want to be a teacher. Maybe you want to be a coach. Maybe you want to own your own business. Maybe you want to graduate from college, so on and so forth. Maybe you want to own your own house. All right. Whatever those goals are for you, those telescope goals, a telescope goal sees way far down the road. And so those are our big vision goals. All right, we need those goals. And so it's important to set those goals to give us a direction of where we want to go. So I want you guys to put in 5 goals that you have. All right. And within those 5 goals, make those what I call SMART goals. All right, some of you guys might have done this before. And with SMART goals, SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-oriented. All right, so an example of this SMART goal might be this right here. I would like to lose 3 kilos by October 31st by increasing my activity level and decreasing my calorie intake. That would be a very specific goal versus, all right, I just want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. All right, doesn't have any details to it, doesn't have a date to it, it doesn't have the weight to it. So make these goals detailed, SMART goals, and we need 5 goals here. All right, and then take whatever your number 1 goal is and move it over here to your microscope goals. Okay, so your microscope goals are your daily commitments to achieve your number 1 goal. All right, so what can you do every single day that's going to help you achieve that goal? So here we would put in our football player, and then when we would go through here and we're going to list all 20, we're going to find 20 ways to achieve that goal daily. All right, something where we just take a step and maybe we get 1% better every single day, right? So it might be hit for 30 minutes a day, eat 6 meals a day to gain weight, weight training 8 a.m. to gain strength, be a good teammate, play the game the right way, so on and so forth. You guys can delete these and add in your own goals, but you need 5 big vision goals and 20 microscope goals of your number 1 goal. Okay. As you guys look at the bottom here, you guys have different tabs at the bottom of this sheet. Okay. We will work through this entire template throughout the course. So not all of these are due at once. Okay. They're due at different times. Your first one that's going to be due is this goal exercise this week. Okay. All right. Then you will have your gratitude list. All right. So what you're thankful for. A lot of times in life, our mind defaults to negativity. We talk about all the problems that we have, and we forget about how good we have it in a lot of ways. So what we do in a lot of ways, I've seen successful people that battle depression or anxiety or battle maybe laziness or just being unmotivated, is to take a gratitude walk and just think about the things that they are thankful for. What are you thankful for every single day? I've also heard people talk about their morning routine as they wake up. They list 3 things that they're thankful for that day. All right, so it's a good way to start your day off on the right foot versus waking up, being stressed, thinking negatively, and starting your day off on a negative route. Okay, so what are you thankful for? So you'll list 20 things that you're thankful for, and it could be anything. All right, being alive, having family, having a job, the sunshine, food, so on and so forth. So what are you thankful for? List 20 things. Okay, financial budget. All right, so as we get into chapter 3 and 4, we'll do time management, and we'll also do a financial budget. All right, a lot of stress is related to our finances. We might be going through some of those finances right now. So this is just a monthly budget planner, so we can get an idea of how to budget correctly. All right, we'll talk about little things of like, actually, what do we need to spend our money on? Do we actually need a $50,000 car that cost us, $800 a month on a payment plan? Or can we get by with a $5,000 Honda Civic that gets great gas mileage? We don't have a car payment, and now I can take that money and I can invest it into the stock market. I can invest it into realty. I can talk about investing it so I help out for my future, not just for myself, but for my family. So looking at it from a financial standpoint, but also not just like when you are making money, it's like also budgeting on a college budget, right? I didn't grow up with very much money at all. There was weeks that I figured out how to live off of 20 bucks. And so we'll talk about some of those scenarios as we go, especially as we get into our healthy grocery list. And we talk about meal prepping for the week, okay? So we'll talk about that financial budgeting, organizing, knowing where your money's going, all right? Then time management. So this is our time management spreadsheet. I use this with all of my athletes on campus. Actually, next week, I am giving a seminar on time management with all of our athletes on campus. And this is our time management worksheet. All right, we can do this in Excel, but also with our emails right now, we have our Google Calendar that's associated with our South Mountain emails. So I have a lot of our athletes do this in Google Calendar. So we will also move to doing this assignment instead of always filling it in here. We will do it on Google Calendar. Because when you put it into Google Calendar, you can repeat dates. You can, it's a lot easier to function. You can save time and you can send notifications to your phone. And you have the calendar app on your phone, and you can click on that calendar app and it can show your to-do list. This is a great way to just stay organized and hit your goals. All right, so once we set our goals, we need to put those daily microscope goals into a plan. So this is going to be our plan. We call it Watcher 168 because how many hours are in a week? 168. We have 168 hours in a week. So we all have the same amount of time. What we do with that time is what gives us our success. Okay. So we will touch on all of these. You'll set 3 main goals for the day, and then you will list out what you're going to do throughout the week. And I'll give you some more examples to that as we get closer to that time. All right. And then we have a kind of like an evaluator of our day, and we call it the Win the Day checklist. This Win the Day checklist is the top 10 things that you can do to kind of live an optimal life. This is things that I think that are important. We might be able to adjust some of these depending on some of our values of what we believe in. But some of those Win the Day checklists that I think if we do these 10 things, then we're going to have a pretty good day. All right. And those top 10 things, get 8 hours of sleep. Okay. 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep is important for performance. Number 2, make your bed. Okay, make your bed. I think it's important that it starts our day off with something that's accomplished. And this comes from a talk that I've seen from a Navy SEAL. And he talks about the number 1 thing is just make your bed. Because if you can get up and you can just be disciplined to make your bed, it gives you something that you accomplished every day. It starts some organizational skills. And then as you go through your day, and if you have a good or bad day, you come home to a made bed, and that makes you feel better. All right. So make your bed. It's a small discipline, but it starts us off on the right foot and gets us disciplined and organized for the day. Spend some time in thought. That's what we talked about journaling wise. Maybe that is some meditation for you. Maybe that's praying for you. All right. Whatever that thought process is, there's multiple ways to do it. But I think it's important that we do spend some time in thought each day. Exercise for 30 minutes. So I talked about getting out of our head and getting into our body, making this heart pump, get the blood flowing throughout the day. It's going to help us in multiple ways. from a physiology standpoint, but also from a mental standpoint. Calorie intake goal achieved. So looking at our nutritional plans and looking at the calorie intake that we need for that day, and not going over that, but not going under that either. All right. So figuring out a plan of how many calories do I need to take in every day? What does my meal plan look like? And how can I schedule that meal plan for optimal performance? And a lot of times we look at that as, we have to eat all of these bad foods and it's boring and it sucks, but it doesn't have to be that way. And we'll talk about that through our nutrition, our nutritional areas. Okay. Read for 30 minutes. I think it's important that we read for 30 minutes in something that we're passionate about. The more you read, the more, I think, areas where you can find solutions to problems. Majority of things that we have problems with every single day, the things that stress us out, they have already been solved. Pretty much everything that you can look around, majority of things, somebody's already done it before. So find something that either somebody that motivates you or somebody that solved your problem before, and figure out what that solution is. And I think we can do a lot of that through reading. And that could be through internet articles, blogs, research articles, we watch documentaries. That usually helps us solve those problems. But from a reading standpoint, that would be a biography. Just reading different types of things. So read for 30 minutes throughout the day. If you read 10 pages a day, all right, that can get you through a book relatively quickly and kind of give you some discipline. So that's usually my goal. Read about 10 minutes a day, or read about 10 pages of a book a day. Sometimes, some days there's, I miss some of those days, and then there's some days where I'll read 100 pages in a row. All right, but my goal is to just try to stay disciplined, have a daily routine of reading 10 pages a day. Drink 1 gallon of water. All right, we need to hydrate. Water is going to help us flush out multiple things as we go throughout the week, throughout the day. It keeps us hydrated, keeps us focused, keeps us mentally alert. Right? We need water to live, so I think that's important. Number 8, hug and high five someone. All right, so right now that's kind of interesting with COVID. All right, but once COVID gets out of the way, even if it's maybe somebody in your, in your household, I think hugging and high fiving someone, it sends off good endorphins in our body, makes us feel good about ourselves. It makes others feel good. So that's serotonin, that chemical serotonin that is in your brain. It sends off those types of chemicals. And so hugging and high fiving, those are things that are positive. And I think if we can kind of have a framework of like, you know what, I'm gonna hug somebody every day, I'm gonna high five somebody every day. All right. Not only are you gonna make your life better, but you're gonna make somebody else's life better too. Thank you, call, text, note, email. Every day, kind of just put together, maybe a positive call of somebody that's, been awesome in your life. Maybe it's a family member, maybe that is a mentor, maybe that's just a friend, just to say, hey, awesome, you're the best. Thank you for everything you do. Whatever that situation is for you, send that text. Think about right now, think about you receiving that text from somebody that you admire, that you look up to, or maybe somebody that you mentor. And if they sent you that text and what that would make you feel. So a thank you text to someone each day is positive for you, but it's also positive for them. Have emotions turn to tears. So this is the old Jimmy V quote. If you guys remember Jimmy V was an old basketball coach at North Carolina State. And in 1993, he won an ESPY award, and he was talking about, he was one of the first people to really start giving a lot of money towards cancer. He had cancer at that time. He won the Arthur Ashe Award. For some of you guys that are younger, you might remember Stuart Scott winning this award about 3 years ago and giving a motivational speech. He was battling cancer. So Jimmy Valvano was battling cancer in the early 90s. He was an Italian guy, very, very outgoing, very motivational. and he was fighting cancer. And at that time, there wasn't a whole lot of money coming in for cancer. At that time, there was actually more money going towards AIDS than there was cancer. And so now, in 2020, you don't hear as many people talking about AIDS, but all of us can probably name somebody that we know personally that has dealt with cancer. And so 1993, he started the Jimmy V Foundation, and they've raised millions and millions and millions of dollars for cancer research. And in that speech, he said, every day you should do three things and to live an optimal day. And those three things were spend some time in thought, have your emotions turn to tears, and what was the other one? You remember the other one? What was those three things? It was every day you should spend some time in thought. You should have your emotions turn to tears, and we'll have to watch the video. I've got the video associated with it, but it's a really good speech. It's a motivational speech, and it's a 1993 ESPY award, Arthur Ashe Award that he won. So we'll bring that video up on YouTube. You guys can watch that because it's a really good video and motivational. So with that, that's kind of how we're going to rank our day. So win the day, how many win the day checklist did you get? 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for that day? And if you do that, you should be pretty successful for that day. So that's time management. We have a body composition report. I'm still kind of developing this, but I wanted to throw it in there because it's something that we'll talk about in chapters 5, 6, and 7, talking about kind of how we're going to look at our body composition report, and maybe if we wanted to have a target weight and look at how we would either gain weight or lose weight depending on our situation. So that's going to be our body composition report. Healthy grocery list. We'll do a healthy grocery list of 40 foods. We'll look at the cost. We'll look at the calories per serving. And then we'll also figure out how we're going to budget for the week. So going back to my college days, $20 for the week on food. How could you budget and live off of $20, $40, and $60? And looking at that and living kind of on a budget. So in the future, you can save for things that you actually do want and you know where your money's going. Meal prepping. So talking about meal prepping for the week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a couple snacks. Talk about our goal intake, calorie intake goal for the week. And then planning ahead for each meal. How are we going to plan ahead? And that's talking about meal prepping. We usually meal prep a lot of Sundays. That helps us get through the week being organized. And then our exercise routine, we'll put a normal exercise routine, something pretty basic, again, to get us out of our head, to get us into our bodies, to try to keep ourselves in optimal shape, okay? So that's the Growth U template, guys. That is in your files section in this tab here. So if you guys go into the files section on Canvas, you can see these. And then here in the file section, we will also have your PowerPoints. Okay, we'll have your PowerPoints in there. I'm updating some of those. I'm making those a little bit better from this last 8 weeks class. I'm adding in some more pictures, so on and so forth, some more data points that I wanted, to some new data points that I found over the last 8 weeks. So I'll upload those PowerPoints as we go, and you guys will be able to keep those and use those in the future for your tests, okay? As we go, again, we'll have a vision board that's going to be due in a couple weeks. So that date for that vision board, again, will be November 5th. So you guys start thinking about that vision board. That vision board is worth 50 points. It's an easy assignment. It's directly related to you and what you're passionate about. So, and then I also have a video associated with that vision board. It'll show you how to create that vision board and what you can put on that vision board, okay? Let's see here. let's see here. So as we go, what questions may we have over anything of the class? Do you guys have questions on Canvas, on Zoom, on the syllabi, on assignments? What questions do you have for me overall? And if you have questions, I'm sure somebody else has the same question. Anybody. All right, guys. So this is what we're going to do. You guys go into your Canvas. We have 5 minutes left of class. So you guys can go into your Canvas and complete that introduction and syllabus test right now. All right. So make sure you go into Canvas, complete those introductions, and complete your syllabus test. So I know you guys can do that. On Thursday, we'll meet again, and what we'll do is we will start with introductions, and everybody will introduce themselves to everybody in the class, and then I'll introduce and give you guys some more information on me as well. All right, so your goal today, assignment-wise, get on Canvas, finish introduction, finish syllabus test, and then when we meet on Thursday, be ready for those introductions, and we will just introduce ourselves to everybody and continue to get into the course. All right, so if you guys don't have anything, if you guys don't have any questions, that's all I've got for you today. And I will see you on Thursday, guys. Look forward to this class. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, Mr. Killiam.
Good to see you, man.
All right.